Hello students, nutrition in human beings, we are continuing the topic. I hope it's fruitful, it's coming fruitful for you also. Okay, let's continue with this. See, we have done till stomach in the last lecture. Now, I find this human digestive system or the digestion of food inside this human system, it is quite interesting. Let's continue. Okay, now this stomach, we know the food is there in the stomach, and it was the partial digestion of proteins and some digestion of fats also occur in the stomach. Now the food, if you can see here clearly, the food is going towards now small intestine. Small intestine. This is small intestine. This is not small. Why it is called as small then? Because its diameter is very less as compared to the large intestine. Large intestine is large because its diameter is more, otherwise it's a small tube. Small intestine, it is called small intestine because its diameter is very less, but it is a highly coiled long tube. This is the small intestine. See, maximum absorption and the digestion which is to be done now will take place in the small intestine. Digestion, absorption in the small intestine, it's a quite interesting process. Listen very carefully, see it. Now the small intestine will receive secretions from these two very important glands. This gland, it is called as pancreas. And this, the largest gland of the body, it is called as liver, the largest organ. This liver and pancreas, they put their secretion into the small intestine where the food is there. Now what is being done here? See, pancreas secretes pancreatic juice that has these two enzymes. Number one is trypsin, or I write number A. A is trypsin and B is lipase. Lipase, as the name says, it digests fats. Trypsin, as the name, pepsin and trypsin both are protein digestive enzymes. Pepsin was there in the stomach and in the gastric juice, and trypsin is there to digest the proteins in the small intestine. Now trypsin helps in the digestion of proteins and lipase helps in the digestion of fats. These are present in the pancreatic juice. Number one. The second secretion from the liver which it receives, that is the liver produces bile juice. I normally ask the question, name the enzymes. Obviously we are studying about the enzymes, the role of enzymes that facilitates digestion. Name the enzyme that is present in bile juice. There is no enzyme present in bile juice. Bile juice produces bile salts. Bile juice has bile salts that help in emulsification of fats. Otherwise, digestion of fats, it is not possible with the help of enzymes. So, to digest fats, there are bile salts which are present in bile juice that help in emulsification of fats. That means the large globules of fats, they are broken into the smaller globules. Then, second role of bile juice is it makes the acidic food alkaline. See, the food which was there in the stomach, it was alkaline and hydrochloric acid makes it acidic. Why it makes the acidic? To make the pepsin enzyme active. Here the trypsin and lipase enzymes which were present in the pancreatic juice, they need alkaline medium because the food which was coming from the stomach was acidic. To make it alkaline, bile juice was secreted. Or in simple terms, we can say that trypsin and lipase needs alkaline medium, and pepsin, which was present in the stomach, it needs acidic medium. So pepsin needs acidic medium and trypsin and lipase needs alkaline medium. So these are the two basic functions of bile juice. Coming to this, again the small intestine, it was digestion. Now the food that has been digested, it needs to be absorbed. How it will be absorbed? This surface of small intestine, before coming to this, I forgot one point. Thus, intestine, the walls of the intestine also secretes intestinal juice that has so many other enzymes which digest proteins and convert it into amino acids, carbohydrates into glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol. So these intestinal juice, pancreatic juice and bile juice aids and complete the process of digestion in the small intestine. Coming to the next part of small intestine, this small intestine has number of villi on the surface. Villi, which are finger-like projections present on the walls of this small intestine, that increases the surface area of small intestine. The more the surface area, more will be the absorption of the food. The villi are supplied with the highly rich blood vessels. The blood vessels will help in utilizing the food. It helps in giving the absorbed food to each and absorbed nutrients to each and every cell of the body. And then it will be used, the energy will be used, that process will be used, the food will be used for obtaining energy, for repairing of worn out tissues, for the preparation for the formation of new tissues. So assimilation will be done. One more point of small intestine is the small intestine is longer in herbivores. Herbivores which are grass eating, and carnivores, we know those are flesh eating. The small intestine of herbivores, it is a longer tube as compared to the carnivores, because cellulose, the herbivores that depends on cellulose, they eat cellulose, it needs longer time to digest, whereas the flesh, the meat, it takes less time to digest. So carnivores has smaller small intestine, shorter small intestine. This is one more point about the small intestine. Coming towards the last part of the digestive system, we have this large intestine. No digestion takes place in the large intestine, but absorption of water takes place in the large intestine. The food that has been digested now, see, after every physiological process, there are waste products which are formed. And if those waste products will accumulate in the body, it will be very toxic to the body. That has to be removed out. And that process of removal, it is done with the help. First, this large intestine help in the absorption of water from the food. The food, undigested food that is there in the large intestine, large intestine helps in the absorption of the water from it. Water absorption occurs. The last product, which is end product, which is the waste material, which are known as the stool or the feces, they are first stored in the rectum, and then they are removed through the anus, which is guarded by anal sphincter. Last point I want to add up here. These feces are removed out, and the process of removal of feces from the body, it is called as defecation. Otherwise it is called as egestion also. Egestion, that is the removal of waste product of the body. We do defecation. D means removal, when we remove out something, and fecation, the word itself, feces. So removal of feces occurs through the anus, guarded by anal sphincter, stored in the rectum temporarily, and the large intestine. The role of large intestine is complete here. I hope this topic is much more clear to you, and I hope you will also find it very interesting. The doubts which you will be having, we will meet in the meeting only. Thank you. Bye-bye.